Most men build their lives on sand. When the storm comes, everything collapses. Are you standing on stone or sinking in sand? Musashi built on earth, solid, unshakable. He called this the earth scroll. Not glamour, not decoration, foundation. This is where mastery begins. Because earth does not lie. It reveals who you are when the storm presses close. It shows whether your steps are rooted in stone or slipping in sand. The earth scroll is not a book of secrets. It is not a collection of advanced tricks. It is the foundation, the base, the root from which all strength grows. Men seek shortcuts. They want mastery without repetition, victory without training, wisdom without silence. But Musashi laughs at such men. He knew, without earth beneath your feet, every strike collapses, every dream crumbles, every victory fades. So you must return to the soil, to the ground beneath your feet, to the basics that cannot be skipped. You who listen now, you who seek to harden your will, you cannot begin in the clouds. You must begin in the ground. You must ask yourself, where are my roots? What is the earth beneath my life? And if it is shaken, will I endure? This is the path of earth, the beginning of strategy, the first step in forging an unbreakable will. The mountain does not ask permission to rise. It does not fear the storm, nor bow to the passing seasons. It simply stands, its foundation deeper than sight, older than time, stronger than anything that dares strike against it. So it must be with you. Your foundation determines everything. Without it, your victories are fragile, your dreams temporary, your strength hollow. Musashi wrote, "In strategy, you must ground yourself in the fundamentals. Without foundation, refinement collapses." This is not poetry, it is survival. The man who rushes to advanced technique while ignoring basics is the first to bleed. The man who dreams of glory but neglects his health collapses before the journey begins. The man who speaks of wisdom but never masters silence is blind while believing he sees. Every duel, every battle, every victory begins in the same place, the earth beneath your feet. Footwork before strike, stance before blade, breath before action. The warrior who forgets this is already dead. Most men flee this earthwork. They chase the clouds of comfort and inspiration. They worship motivation as if it will carry them through the storm. But motivation is mist. It rises with the morning and fades by noon. Discipline is the rock. Repetition is the root. Pressure is the ground itself, hardening beneath you. Do not wait for mist to carry you. Build what cannot be taken, a foundation of stone that no storm can move. Ask yourself, what is the mountain beneath your life? Do you rise unshaken, rooted deeper than the storm can reach? Or are you soil washed away with the first rain? This is the first law of the earth scroll. Build your foundation before you fight. Do not seek mastery until you have mastered the base. Do not chase glory until your roots can carry its weight. Do not demand victory until you have learned to stand without falling. Ask yourself again, not lightly, not in passing, but as if your life depends on the answer. What is the foundation beneath your feet? The carpenter bends over his beam. He measures, cuts, joins, sands. Not once, not twice, but endlessly until every piece fits into place. The clay, untouched, is nothing but dust waiting to scatter in the wind. But in the hands of the potter, under pressure, it takes shape. It hardens into something that endures fire, water, and time. This is strategy, not chance, not inspiration. Craft, work, repetition, precision. Musashi wrote, "The way of strategy is like the work of the carpenter. Each tool has its purpose, each cut has its place." Most men treat life as a gamble. They throw dice in the dark and hope for fortune. But Musashi knew, life is not luck. Life is construction. The warrior is a craftsman. His tools are his habits. His beams are his routines. His hammer is his discipline. His fire is his struggle. Every day he shapes himself, cut by cut, strike by strike. And every day he is also the clay, hardened by pressure, shaped by fire. The carpenter does not curse the wood for being hard. He sharpens his saw. He aligns his cut. He works with the grain instead of against it. The potter does not curse the fire. He knows the furnace is what makes the clay endure. So it must be with you. Do not curse the weight of your burdens. Do not curse the hardness of your days. Sharpen yourself instead. Accept the fire. Strike again. Endure again. Be shaped again. Every choice is a cut. Every habit is a beam. Every test is fire on the clay of your will. Cut carelessly, and the frame breaks. Resist the fire, and the clay crumbles. But if you cut with precision, if you endure the heat, then your work and your will endure. This is Musashi's second law of the Earth Scroll. Strategy is a craft. Treat it as such, with patience, with repetition, with precision, or your life will collapse in your hands. The farmer knows his soil. He does not guess what will grow. He studies the earth. He feels its weight in his hands. He knows when it must be broken open, when it must be watered, when it must be left in silence to rest. So it must be with you. For the warrior who does not know his own ground is already defeated. Musashi taught, if you master yourself, and if you see your opponent clearly, then 100 battles hold no fear. Most repeat this as a clever saying. Few understand its weight. Because the hardest field to master is not the battlefield outside. It is the field within you, the soil of your own habits, your own cravings, your own discipline. Most men live blind. They scatter seed without thought. They let weeds rise and call it a harvest. They curse the earth when it yields nothing, forgetting they never worked it with patience. This blindness is not harmless. It is ruin waiting quietly. For when the storm comes, the unplowed field is washed away, and all that remains is mud. To know yourself is to till your own ground, to dig deep where you would rather leave it hard, to tear out weeds even when they return again and again, to sow only what strengthens you, and to endure the seasons of waiting. It is not pleasant, it is not easy, it is not soft. But Musashi never asked for soft men. He asked for warriors. Know this, the path of self-knowledge is a wound before it is a harvest. The soil must be cut before it can grow. The weeds must be pulled before the field can feed you. The earth must be broken before it can be strong. Yet only through this work does clarity rise. Only through this discipline do you become unshakable. Ask yourself now, do you truly know the field of your life? Do you know what you are sowing, or do you scatter blindly? Do you know the weeds, or do they rule while you pretend to be free? Do you plow with patience, or do you curse the ground for not feeding you at once? If you do not know, then you are not the warrior. You are the barren land. And the enemy will always win because you never learned where to plant. Musashi understood this with brutal clarity. He did not scatter his strength in waste. He returned to the same ground again and again, shaping, refining, uprooting, planting. This is why nothing within could betray him. Self-knowledge is not philosophy. It is agriculture. It is the discipline of the plow, the patience of the season, the clarity of the harvest. Without it, you reap nothing but weeds. With it, you reap strength that endures storms and feeds you in battle. So I ask you again, do you truly know the land you stand upon? Not the mask you show the world, not the excuses you feed yourself, the real ground, the soil of your habits, your discipline, your will. If you do not know it, then work it. Plow the field, tear out the weeds, sow the seed, Endure the season. For until you know your own ground, you cannot walk the way. This is the third command of the Earth Scroll. Know yourself and your path. For a man who does not know his own field cannot master his own life. And a man who cannot master his own life will be mastered by everything else. The path stretches before you. From the mountain, you see where it leads: valleys, rivers, forests, the horizon beyond. But when you walk it, the path narrows to a single step. One stone, one footprint, one choice. Musashi wrote, "It is essential to see distant things as if they were close, and to take a distanced view of close things." He warned against blindness of either kind. The warrior who stares only at the horizon stumbles on the rock beneath his foot. The warrior who stares only at his foot forgets where he is going. Both fall. Both are defeated. So it must be with you. If you dream only of the horizon, you will never take the steps. If you bury yourself in steps, you will forget the destination. Strength comes from holding both in your sight, the road ahead and the step you take today. Ask yourself, where do you fail to see? Do you lose yourself in visions of greatness, forgetting the discipline of daily action? Do you drown in daily grind, forgetting the purpose that gives it meaning? Musashi's fourth law of the Earth Scroll is this: see both the whole and the detail, or your path will break. The path that endures is not walked in haste nor in blindness. It is walked step by step with the horizon in sight. The great road is nothing but thousands of steps, each laid in discipline. Musashi himself lived this balance. He wandered mountains in solitude, holding the vastness of strategy in his mind. Yet he spent hours upon hours repeating the same stroke, the same stance, the same detail, until it could not break. He wrote of war as a whole, yet never neglected the single step of breath, of stance, of cut. This is the way, to walk with the horizon clear and the step precise. Do not be the fool who dreams of distant lands, but never walks. Do not be the fool who marches endlessly, but forgets where he is going. Do not be the fool who gazes at the horizon, yet ignores the ground beneath his feet. Be the traveler who holds horizon and step together. Be the road that endures, because both are one. So I ask you, do you hold both in your sight? Do you see the horizon and the step? Do you see the road ahead and the stone beneath your foot? Do you walk today knowing the weight of tomorrow? If not, then your path is broken before it begins. For the man who sees only one side will always collapse when reality demands both. This is the fourth command of the Earth Scroll. See both the great whole and the small detail. Balance them, or be broken by blindness. The tree does not endure because of its branches. Branches break, leaves fall, bark cracks. It endures because of what you cannot see, roots buried deep in the earth. So it must be with you. Discipline and repetition are not chains. They are roots. Without them, you are a branch waiting to snap in the first wind. Musashi lived this truth. He did not win 60 duels by chance. He trained again and again until his strikes were carved into his bones. He repeated movements until his body moved without thought. He let discipline become his nature, as certain as the sun, as steady as the plow, as sharp as the hammer's rhythm. He wrote, "The way is in training, not in dreaming, not in wishing, not in speaking, in training." Most men live like branches. They move wherever the wind pushes them. They snap in storms because they have no root. The warrior must live like the tree, planted deep, unshaken by wind, enduring through drought, through storm, through fire. Ask yourself, where are your roots? Do you train until balance is unshakable? Do you stand firm even when struck? Do you return daily to the same ground until it hardens beneath you? Without roots, you will always fall. With roots, you can endure every season. Musashi's life was proof of this. He did not rely on fleeting strength. He built roots in silence, in balance, in endless repetition. So when storms came, nothing could tear him down. This is the essence of unbreakable will. Not bursts of fire, but steady roots. Not sudden strength, but patient growth. Not one day, but 1,000. Remember this: a branch bends and breaks. A root endures. This is the 5th command of the Earth Scroll. Discipline and repetition are the roots of your strength. Plant them deep, and you will be unshakable. The general bends over his map. He traces mountains, rivers, fortresses, and valleys. He studies the vastness of the war, yet he does not forget the narrow pass where a single ambush may decide everything. He commands thousands, but he knows that one soldier's mistake can break the line. The general teaches this truth. Strategy demands vision of the whole and the discipline to see the smallest point. Musashi declared, "The way of strategy is the way of all things." He did not confine it to duels or to battlefields. He saw strategy in the way a man walks, in the way he eats, in the way he trains, in the way he breathes. For him, nothing was separate. Every act was a movement of war. Every choice was a soldier on the field. Every day was part of the campaign. Most men live like reckless generals. They march without maps. They send soldiers into chaos without formation. They waste strength in battles that do not matter, while leaving their flanks exposed. And when the storm of life strikes, their army scatters before the enemy even arrives. But the true general prepares. He studies the terrain before he moves. He sees ambush where others see safety. He directs each soldier with purpose, knowing that one step misplaced may collapse the whole. So it must be with you. Every word you speak, every habit you repeat, every choice you make. Each is a soldier you send onto the field. Do you lead them with discipline, or do they wander without command? Do you know the map you march upon, or do you stumble blindly into traps? Do you place your strength where it matters, or do you waste it on battles that cannot be won? This is the 6th command of the Earth Scroll. All is strategy. Do not separate war from life. Do not pretend your small choices do not shape the campaign. Do not think the enemy waits for you to prepare. Every act is a soldier. Every choice is a march. Every day is part of the war. So I ask you, what orders did you give today? Did they strengthen your army or lead it toward defeat? The mountain has spoken. The builder has spoken. The farmer, the path, the tree, the earth itself, all have spoken. Their voices are one. Their truth is one. Musashi did not write to comfort you. He carved his words into the ground so they could not be ignored. The Earth Scroll is not philosophy. It is command. It is discipline. It is foundation. And now, the blade turns to you. Have you built like the mountain, rooted deeper than the storm? Or are you still chasing clouds, standing on nothing? Have you worked your field as the farmer, pulling weeds and planting strength? Or do you leave your soil barren, waiting for harvest that never comes? Have you planted roots like the tree, deep enough to endure the storm? Or do you live like a branch, waiting to snap in the wind? Have you grounded every act in earth, as Musashi commanded? Or do you still float in dreams, gone before noon? The storm is not waiting. The fire is not patient. The battle does not care for your excuses. The earth has spoken. Musashi has spoken. Now you must answer. There is no middle path. You either build or you collapse. You either plant or you starve. You either root or you break. You either stand or you fall. This is the cut, the final command, the question you cannot escape. When the storm comes, and it will you stand like the mountain, or will you sink like sand? Choose, for the earth does not forgive.